First at 5, Maine Governor Janet Mills makes it official, signing a new law to allow late-term abortions aimed at rare cases of a fatal fetal diagnosis. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Marissa Bodner.
And I'm Greg Lagerquist. A lot of Republicans calling this controversial, a lot of Democrats calling it compassionate. CBS 13's Brad Rogers joining us now live. And Brad, this law puts the decision into the hands of women and their doctors.
Absolutely, Greg. This new law allows late-term abortions, but only in rare cases and only when a licensed physician determines it to be necessary. As one proponent put it, medical decisions like these belong in the exam room, not in the legislature, and certainly not in the U.S. Supreme Court.
It was a healthy pregnancy up until the point it wasn't.
Zoe Reich's first pregnancy ended in heartache for her and her husband.
We got a devastating diagnosis where our world was absolutely shattered.
They made the difficult decision to end her late-term pregnancy in Colorado, one of the few states at the time that would allow it. Today, with the signing of this bill, Maine joined 6 other states in putting the decision to end a late-term pregnancy in the hands of a licensed physician.
We do not believe that anyone should be forced to remain pregnant by the government against the advice of their own doctor.
1619 reflects not only best medical practice, but also the rights of people, pregnant people, to define and control their bodies and their families.
In a statement, Maine Republicans say this new law is more permissive than almost every other state and country on the planet. Governor Mills says what's extreme is not allowing an abortion in rare, life-threatening cases.
The truth is that no doctor is performing abortions up until the moment of birth, and no pregnant woman is just waking up suddenly and saying, I should have an abortion today.
And especially throughout pregnancy.
Dana Pierce learned late in her pregnancy that her unborn son Cameron had a rare form of skeletal dysplasia,
Which meant that he would not be able to breathe outside of my body, and he was also suffering from a broken leg and had other healed fractures. The only decision I could imagine making was to relieve his suffering by having an abortion. She
too ended her pregnancy in Colorado, and her story led to this new law. Today, Dana and Zoe each have 2 healthy children.
My daughter Hartley is now 7, and my son Graham is 3.5. And I'm so grateful that I was able to access safe abortion care when I needed it.
Every pregnancy is different, and every person deserves the respect and autonomy and trust to make the best decisions for them in their lives.
Well, since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, 14 states have passed laws banning abortions. As a result, nearly 1/3 of American women can no longer access an abortion in their home state. We're live in Portland. Brad Rogers, CBS 13 News.
Brad, thank you.